The decision I made that night haunted me even as I carried it out. It was a choice born of desperation, a need to escape the labyrinth of doubt that had trapped me. I resolved to compare the features of my son with those of Escobar in the most intimate detail. I began to study old portraits and photographs of Escobar, comparing them to my child's every expression, every smile, every movement. It was a grim task, one that filled me with equal parts dread and determination. As I worked, a terrible realization took root in my mind. The more I looked, the more I saw the resemblance. My son's eyes, his smile, even the way he held himself, all seemed to echo Escobar. One morning, Capitu found me hunched over the table, surrounded by photographs and letters. She looked at me with a mixture of confusion and sadness. "What are you doing, Bento?" she asked, her voice soft but tinged with weariness. "Looking for the truth," I replied without meeting her gaze. She sighed and sat down across from me. "You're destroying yourself with these thoughts," she said, "and you're destroying us." I looked up at her, my eyes burning with anger. "The truth will destroy us only if it's what I fear it to be." "And what if it's not?" she asked, her voice trembling. "What if you're wrong? Will you ever be able to take back the things you've said, the things you've done?" Her words struck me, but I pushed them aside. I was too far gone, too consumed by my suspicions to turn back now. Days turned into weeks, and my obsession only grew. Capitu's attempts to reach me became less frequent, her patience wearing thin. I knew I was pushing her away, but I couldn't stop myself. Then one day, Escobar invited me to his home for dinner. It was a casual invitation, but to me it felt like a test, a chance to observe him and gather more evidence. I accepted, though the idea of sitting across from him, pretending everything was normal, filled me with dread. The dinner was tense, at least for me. Escobar was his usual charming self, engaging in lively conversation and making everyone laugh. His wife, Sancha, was warm and welcoming, her presence a stark contrast to the storm raging within me. But as I watched Escobar, I couldn't help but scrutinize his every move. The way he spoke, the way he gestured, even the way he laughed, it all seemed to echo in my son. At one point, Sancha mentioned how much my son had grown. "He's such a handsome boy," she said with a smile. "He reminds me a little of Escobar at that age." Her words were like a knife to my heart. I felt the blood drain from my face, and for a moment, I thought I might collapse. That night, I couldn't sleep. Sancha's words echoed in my mind, amplifying my doubts. Was it possible that everyone saw the resemblance? That they all knew the truth, but were too polite or too cruel to say it outright? I resolved to take a drastic step. If I couldn't find the truth through observation, I would find it through action. The next day, I approached Capitu with a proposition. "I want us to take a trip," I said. She looked at me surprised. "A trip? Where?" "Anywhere," I said. "Just the two of us. We need time away from everything, from Escobar, from the city, from all of it." She hesitated, her expression uncertain. "Do you really think that will help?" "I don't know," I admitted. "But I need to try." She agreed, though I could see the doubt in her eyes. Sometimes in the pursuit of truth, we risk losing everything we hold dear. In the next chapter, I'll recount the journey that would take Capitu and me away from our familiar world and bring us closer to the moment of reckoning. Don't miss it.